A long time ago, there was a young man named Alex who lived in New York City. Alex was a poor student, but he had big dreams and a strong desire to get an education. Life in a big city like New York was not easy for someone without money or family support. He didn't come from a rich background, and he didn't have anyone to depend on. Yet, Alex never gave up. He was determined to study and make something out of his life. To earn enough money for his education and basic needs, he sold small things on the streets, such as newspapers, candies, or little handmade items. Every day, he stood for long hours in crowded streets, hoping that people would buy from him. Even though his life was full of struggle, Alex remained positive and kind. The people around him noticed how polite, hardworking, and honest he was. They respected him because he never complained about his problems and always helped others when he could. Alex believed that hard work and honesty were the only ways to build a better future. His dedication to his studies showed how serious he was about changing his life. During the day, he worked to earn money, and at night, he studied under a dim light, often tired and hungry but still focused. His life was simple but filled with determination and hope. One particular day, however, things didn't go as usual. Alex stood on the same street where he normally sold his goods, but that day, not a single person bought anything. Maybe it was because of bad weather, or maybe people just weren't interested that day. Whatever the reason was, Alex didn't earn a single dollar. As the sun went down, he realized that he had no money left to buy food. His stomach was empty, and his body felt weak, but he didn't lose hope. He walked through different streets, hoping that maybe someone would stop and buy something, but no one did. It was one of those days when everything seemed to go wrong. As the evening turned into night, Alex grew tired and dizzy from hunger. He looked at the tall buildings, bright lights, and happy people around him, and for a moment he felt invisible, like no one could see his struggle. His clothes were worn out, and his hands were cold from the night air. Yet he kept walking, driven by a small hope that maybe someone would help him. Finally, when he could barely walk anymore, he stopped in front of a small, beautiful house. Gathering all his courage, he knocked on the door, not to ask for food, but just for a glass of water. That single act of knocking would change his life forever, because sometimes a simple request leads to an unexpected act of kindness that we remember for the rest of our lives. When Alex, the poor young man, knocked on the door of a small, beautiful house, a polite woman opened it. Alex, feeling shy and weak, softly said, "Ma'am, can I have a glass of water?" He didn't ask for food, even though he was extremely hungry, because he didn't want to trouble anyone. His manners showed that he was raised with respect and dignity, even in hardship. He only asked for what he thought was enough to keep him going, just a simple glass of water. The woman looked at Alex carefully and saw the pain and exhaustion on his face. She noticed his pale skin, tired eyes, and weak body. It didn't take her long to realize that this young man was not only thirsty but also starving. Something in her heart moved with compassion. She understood that this was not just a stranger at her door. It was someone who needed help. Her kindness was not because she expected anything in return, but because she truly cared about another human being. Once inside, Alex could smell the warm aroma of freshly cooked food. The woman went to the kitchen and brought him a plate of the same delicious meal she had prepared for her family. The food looked simple but was filled with love and care. When she placed the meal in front of him, Alex's eyes filled with tears. He couldn't believe that a complete stranger was showing him such kindness. He was so hungry that he wanted to eat quickly, but he paused for a moment and silently thanked God for sending someone to help him in his time of need. Then, with gratitude in his heart, he began to eat. Every bite felt like a blessing. After finishing the meal, Alex felt stronger and more alive. For the first time that day, he smiled. He looked at the woman and said respectfully, "Ma'am, thank you for this food. If you wish, I'll pay you later when I have money." He wanted to show that he wasn't taking advantage of her generosity. The woman smiled warmly and replied, "Son, kindness and humanity have no price." Her words touched Alex deeply. They meant that true kindness comes from the heart, not from expecting anything in return. Alex's heart was full of gratitude. He thanked the woman again and promised to remember her kindness forever. As he stepped out of her house, he felt something change within him. That day, he not only filled his stomach, but also learned the value of compassion. He realized that even in a world full of struggles, there are still people whose hearts shine with goodness. It was a moment he would never forget, a simple act of love that would one day return in the most unexpected way. Many years had passed since the day the kind woman helped the hungry young man, Alex. Life had gone on, and both of them had changed. The woman, who was once strong and full of energy, had now grown old. With age came weakness, and soon she became very sick. Her family decided to take her to one of the city's biggest and most expensive hospitals, hoping she would get the best possible treatment there. The doctors and nurses took care of her, and she stayed there for almost a month. During that time, she received proper medicine, good food, and special attention from the hospital staff. Slowly, her health began to improve, and after several weeks, she finally recovered. Although she was relieved to be healthy again, a new worry began to fill her heart: the hospital bill. She knew that a place like that would charge a very large amount of money, and she had no idea how she would ever be able to pay it. Thoughts rushed through her mind. What if the bill is too high? What if I have to sell my home or my belongings just to cover it? She was anxious and scared because she had never been in such a situation before. Even though she had lived an honest and kind life, the cost of medical care was something beyond her control. Finally, the day came when she was ready to leave the hospital. Before going, she asked the staff for her final bill. Her hands trembled slightly as she waited for it. When the nurse returned, she handed her an envelope. The woman slowly opened it, expecting to see a huge number written on the paper. But what she found left her completely speechless. Inside the envelope, there wasn't a regular bill. Instead, there was a small note attached. It read, "Paid in full with a meal long ago. Alex." For a moment, she couldn't believe what she was reading. Tears immediately filled her eyes as memories came rushing back. She remembered that hungry boy who had knocked on her door years ago, asking for a glass of water. She remembered the kindness she had shown him, and now she realized that the young man had grown up to become a successful doctor, the same one who had treated her in this hospital. Alex had recognized her and decided to repay her act of compassion in the most meaningful way possible. The woman's heart overflowed with emotion. She held the note close to her chest and cried softly, not out of sadness but out of deep gratitude. It was as if life itself had completed a perfect circle. The kindness she once gave had returned to her multiplied. As she walked out of the hospital that day, she wore a gentle smile on her face. She had learned that every good deed, no matter how small, always finds its way back to us when we need it the most. Kindness always comes back, often when we least expect it. Even a small act of goodness can make a big difference. A kind word, a helping hand, or a simple smile can change someone's day, and sometimes their whole life. When you spread kindness, it finds its way back to you. Today we learn new words and sentences through this story. Remember, learning English can be fun when you practice regularly, so keep listening, learning and growing. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need a little hope today, and subscribe for more heartwarming stories. Until we meet again, keep believing, keep smiling, and take care of your beautiful soul.